Say to those of you that have, that are male and have kids that watch this. So I keep getting accused of being obsessed with Marissa Carmichael. And maybe to a degree I am a little bit obsessed, because this is the first case I've ever talked about on a streaming platform. So I'm going to say this. I am sick and tired of people coming at me. I'm sick and tired of people questioning my mental status. I am sick and tired of people saying I'm doing this for clout, I'm demeaning, I'm belittling, I'm being horrible to a victim, and they keep saying that her past behavior does not have anything to do with her current disappearance. How can you say that? Because, in my opinion, no one knows why she went missing, no one knows where she is, and no one knows what happened. So, everything, everything comes into play. Everything has to be considered. And I'm going to keep saying that. Everything has to be considered. So I've put the evidence out there. I've talked about it. The only thing I will not put out there is that video that I received um, that someone put out there on Facebook a while back. I mean, I have the text conversation that went back and forth between me and the person who put it out there, explaining all that. But I can possibly put that out there. But I'm not putting that video out there. That would be going a bridge too far, because honestly, if I put that out there, that would shut everybody up about Marissa's sex work. But I'm not going to do that, because just some things just don't need to be seen publicly. So I know so many people were wanting me to keep going with this, and I just don't see a point, because I've got so many people going out of their way to get me to stop. And the question is, why do you want me to stop? Why? What is it that people are afraid of being found out if this continues? I have never seen a family or friends of people in a family that try to get people to stop helping. Because, like I said in the beginning, when she first went missing, there were so many groups that were involved trying to locate her, and they all shut down. And they even said, family's not cooperating, or something's not right, or this has been a mess. People are just going after people for no reason. And I get that. And I continued to pursue it. And I was in a group. And, anytime anyone came at anybody in the group, Star would go after them and just say, leave them alone, blah, 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 blah. And because I'm no longer part of Star's group, I now am doing my own thing. I mean, I was doing my own thing before, but now I don't have that backing. So, and again, for lack of sounding like I'm repeating myself, um, there just really isn't anything else to say about the Marissa case. I mean, there's the history of the domestic violence between her and Smoke, um, also known as Charles Lindsay, also known as Gamal McIntyre. Um, her own mother has had massive health issues. Is it drug related, like some people are saying, or is it like other issues? I don't know. We do know Marissa had a past of taking pills. It's been said by somebody involved in this case that she stopped off and got some that morning or that evening on the way out. Sarah says she was forced out. Marissa was forced out that night. Then there's a text conversation showing otherwise. Um, so I mean, just a lot of back and forth, a lot of back and forth, a lot of back and forth. And the Carmichael family has a lot of people following them blindly. And I mean, that's a testament to people who adore you. That's great. But it's not solving the problem, because you're not acknowledging all the behavior. All the behavior, Like, I'm going to say this again. When my husband died, he was a massive alcoholic. He also was addicted to pain pills. and had been suicidal up in, a month or so before he died. Actually, 2 months before he died. And when he died in that accident, first thing I thought, he took his own life. But then the doctor there made it clear, no, something medical happened in that car. We think he had a seizure, he has a history of epilepsy, blah, blah, blah. So we had accepted it that. But I could have put my head in the sand and flat out said, nope, he didn't do these things. I didn't do that. I acknowledged who he was and kept going. So when I bring up Marissa's lifestyle, this is not me demeaning her. This is not me um, casting judgment. This is me putting out there the information because it is until it's pertinent until it's proven otherwise. So, I mean, I don't know how many more stories Sarah can put out there. She's being trafficked. She was forced out that night. Smoke is devastated. You know, you can only listen to so much of that. And now I'm being threatened with lawsuits and cease and desist letters and all that. It's just insane. Janice Rucker, you're the only one who's been following the case. I wouldn't let anyone shut you up. The family has lied so many times. It's pretty disgusting. People are coming around now and calling you names. It's so many months down the line. I don't get it. It's a good question. It seems like it's new people every day that's wanting to say stuff to me. So, I mean, one person got on there and said that on the YouTube channel saying that she's watching me and she's reporting me. And that I better never say Echo's name again, which I've never mentioned her before, so that's weird. Um, oh, I'm just tired. I'm not sad. I'm just tired. Like I said, this case has been very frustrating and very confusing and very because there's so many people involved in her life that could be involved in her disappearance altogether. And it's trying to separate the whole group and figure out who had motive, who had a reason. And when it comes down to it like that, the only person who had a reason for her to be gone is Smoke. Like I said, one of two things has happened. She's either no longer present because Smoke got mad and things went too far, or she's no longer present because due to her partying lifestyle, she made a mistake and something happened and they just cleaned it up. So it's one of those two scenarios because Detective Denny, the lead detective on the case, made it clear there is no evidence that she's being trafficked, and and she didn't have the money to disappear. So what does that leave? I am very close to just stopping on this case altogether because there's no new information. The only thing new we can find is her. And I've had other people contact me saying that they're going to look, but then they're taking information I'm saying to them to the people I'm saying it about, which is fine. I'm not opposed to telling people how I really feel to their face. So don't get it twisted. But it's something like it just tells me, okay, the only way this person would have known that is if you had said something. So that gives me a sense I can't trust you, you know? And, this does not bring me any love. This does not bring me love or money or prestige or clout or any of that. And I'm constantly getting people, being mean to me and yelling at me and messaging my family. And it's just not worth it. Talks a lot of game, but isn't really doing a whole hell of a lot. So I don't know. Like I said, I know Sarah has a right to live her life, but to be partying like she is with her daughter missing and no Mother's Day posts or nothing, it's crazy. and keeps telling people, oh, smoke's going to get the kids. How? I still don't understand that, how that is even possible, that he could even get the kids, because with the pending child abuse charges in another county, and all the domestic violence and the drug charges that he has been facing over the last several years, and these are recent, I don't know how he's going to get those kids. So, yeah, like I said, I know people keep telling me don't stop, keep doing what I'm doing, but this is actually affecting my mental health to a degree. Okay, so what happened? I'm so sorry. I just got here. I haven't been here from the get go. Okay. So, what I'm talking about is Marissa Carmichael. She's a 25-year-old mother of five from High Point, North Carolina, that went missing from downtown Greensboro January 14th, 2024. I have been talking about this case mostly on Facebook when I do lives there, and I moved them over to the YouTube, but I've been doing these lives for some time now talking about her case, and they've just gotten hairy for me. You know, I've mentioned all the people who I think are involved. Going on. I don't know if they've actually investigated this and they're just keeping it on the DL, which is possible, or they don't think anything is involved. I do think at this point, because of the people involved and because of the other industries, people I think that are involved are in, I do think the FBI or at least the State Bureau of Investigation needs to come in and do a deeper dive on what's going on. Because I truly believe, even though I don't think Marissa was being trafficked, I do believe trafficking is going on inside the circle. Drugs, sex, you name it, they're doing it. Um, Shawnee Lely, who's the guy that Marissa's mother keeps swearing up and down took her daughter, I don't think he did. But do I think he's a pimp? Yes. I think he's involved in that industry. Um, Sarah keeps going on and on about how Mo's a good guy. Mo Dallas is a good guy, and he would have made sure Marissa was safe and all that. Well, if that's the case, why didn't she come home that night? Because she was out with him that night. And why would you want to protect a guy who's very good friends with the guy you truly believe took your daughter? Those guys have been up in New York City, partying, living it up in Central Park. So you can't have it both ways. Mo can't be a good guy and hang out with the kidnapper at the same time. Doesn't work that way. Oh, well, thank you so much. Um, but yeah, it can't go both ways, you know. Like I said, the thing that makes sense when you talk about a missing person case, especially when you have a history of domestic violence and drug usage, the one thing that most people look at when a motive happens, when someone goes missing or is unalived, is the fact that it's either down to sex or money. And, the kids were in foster care. She was trying to get them back. He was going to have to pay out some money to her once she got them back. Her youngest child has spinal dysplasia, so the poor little guy was born without arms, and he was getting a check from the government, a little bit over $1,000 a month. So there's that motive. Whoever has that child gets that money. I mean, it's not a ton of money, but to somebody living in the house that they were living in High Point and seeing their circumstances, yeah, I could see that being a motive, and especially with the drugs going on. I mean, I have text messages from people who told me, yes, I sell them drugs, I sell them Percocet, I sell them Xanax. These are things they have. Yeah, $1,000 a month enough is enough. Yeah, I get you. Um, but I have all these things. I have all these, and I get this one person who keeps commenting, "Do you have any receipts for what you're talking about?" Yeah, I've got the receipts. Does it mean it's good for public consumption? Not necessarily. But I will say this: I will start putting out the text conversations. I probably will block out the numbers and the names of the people just because, you know, try to keep some sources, you know, anonymous if I still can. But I'm just tired of people saying I'm making stuff up. People are telling me things. I'm reporting on these things. Not everybody agrees, and that's fine. It's not for everybody. But yeah, I say I'm just really tired of this. Thank you, Janaya. Don't let people run you away. You've been the only credible person. Thanks. I appreciate that. Actually, Dreamsy, I actually looked it up for North Carolina. It's 1,046 for a minor. I know it's what they want. I know. But it's harder and harder for me to talk about this case without catching hell from somebody else. Oh, thank you. The dark hates the light, and you are shining with what you are doing. Thank you. I know the family wants me to be quiet. But if I get a cease and desist letter, or if I get somebody trying to sue me, I might have to. You have to understand that. I am not made of money. And I'm trying to turn this into a legit channel where people actually listen to me when I talk about stuff. And I can't have that when I've got people trying to talk to me like I'm nuts. Crazy how that AJ Always Something person came after me, but that woman's got like 9 felonies for um, identity theft and medical data theft and all kinds of crap. Yeah, but yet she's the one on a high horse coming after me. Um, and Star Rain's group, they're not speaking to me, and that's fine because that was becoming way too toxic and chaotic, so I had to get away from that. Um, right. Yeah, I understand that. I know the person who came at me last night on the channel, she's a relative of the family too, or a family friend. So there's that. And then the other people who've come at me are followers of the AJ Always Something. So, okay. Well, Dreamsy, I know my son, when he was getting SSI, he got the max for whatever it was for that state. So when it's a minor, um, the bare minimum is basically what it's hard to explain, but they have a cost of living increase. And then when he went from disability to survivor benefits, the amount changed. But I do know for SSI disability with a person with no work history, the max you're going to get is $1,046, and they were getting a little bit over $1,000 because that's what they get. Oh, so many comments. Let's see here. No one knows the story. These podcasters are just now coming. Yeah, I'm with you on that. They really are. It's like jumping in on hour 5, and you don't have to worry about them when you're doing the right thing to find Marissa. If it wasn't for you, she would truly be forgotten 9 times out of 10. Well, okay, thank you. And of course, they're going to side with the family because the family is lying and making it seem like they care. We've been following you, and you've been covering the story since day one. Yeah, thank you guys. I really appreciate that because I will say that comment I got yesterday on the channel kind of hit me a certain kind of way because people keep making comments, um, show the receipts, show the receipts, show the receipts, and if I showed what I was sent, that's flat out pornography, and I can't show that. I can't, you know. And so there's no judgment on Marissa for getting in that life because if that's all she knew to do, make quick money. I get it. Um, some people just don't have an option. Don't have any other way of surviving. So I get it. I mean, we do know she was having sex at least at 14, if not younger than that. I've talked to men that had been with her when she was a minor and they were of age. They were in their 20s. So, I mean, it's happening. Her own children were exposed to some things from what I was told. Um, so who knows what that's gonna do to them? Thank you, Dreamsy. I appreciate that. Um, but I mean, that's all we can do. I mean, there's more missing people out there. There's more people I can be talking about. I can take a pause on Marissa for a moment, but oh, Nini, hey. Nini, I got mad because Star outed a source that I had. That's why I got mad. Let's be real here, okay? And yeah, you guys had my back, but you couldn't go around accusing people of murder on their Facebook pages and then wonder on Star wondering why she kept getting banned. You know, it was tough watching being around you guys sometimes. And okay, you're only giving one part of of the context. You know, people were calling me a liar. People have been calling me a liar since day one. But again, I will not forgive Star. And again, here we go again. Bound on this. Star got mad. When Star gets mad, Star goes nuclear and starts saying things. And she literally said to me in the chat, "You killed your husband. Your kids hate your guts because you killed your husband." So, you know, I can't forgive that. I'm sorry. Not after the shit that man put me through, I'm not going to forgive that. And exposing what? I mean, I can't sit there and expose these videos that I got sent. I mean, I can't. They are just um I can't expose what I was sent. I can't. You know, that I think that's a line going too far. And I'm all about journalistic integrity and all that, but that's just going way too far. Yeah, I think it does too, Janai. I really do. I think all that does matter. Her behavior at a young age and what she's been doing now. Nini, Star was not trying to talk to me. She was trying to scream at me and keep me under her thumb. So don't even go there because you know there is no talking to Star. When Star does whatever Star does, I'm not doing it. So, um, but I'm sorry that got me off track a little bit. But yeah, like I said, I this whole thing with Marissa, it's a lot, and I cannot. Yeah, misery likes company. Misery likes company. Yeah, you're right. So yeah, like I said, there's been too many groups that have been shut down over nonsense, and it comes down to there were so many groups in the beginning, and then the groups started dwindling one by one because they didn't want to deal with the drama of this case because there's a lot of it, and the question is, what else are they trying to hide? Um, somebody asked that question, what are they trying to hide? And that's a good question because when you hear all the stuff that's out there in the court records, um, it does make you wonder if they investigated any further, what else would they find? I had so many people that made comments saying, I used to live with them, I used to live with them. And that's a lot of people that have been in and out of that house. And yeah, I mean, it's a lot of people. So that makes me wonder what else, were they just running I call it a flop house, but, um, I mean, it's just a lot of people just coming in, sleeping, leaving, sleeping, leaving, drugs in and out of there, sex in and out of there. I mean, I actually have text from the person who told me why the children were removed and sent into foster care. And that's crazy, you know? And again, I just don't know how Smoke's going to get these kids. I don't know how, and I know Sarah's not going to get these kids. So that leaves a lot to up for debate. It just leaves a lot. But at the end of the day, you've got a woman who's missing. Doesn't matter what her background is, doesn't matter what she did in life. She deserves to be found. But you can't ignore her lifestyle choices and you can't ignore her experiences because until you know why she's missing, everything is up for grabs. Everything is. You have to consider everything. I even made the joke once in the group chat. I said, because this case is so fantastical, we even have to consider alien abduction. So, because it's gotten just so out of hand. And they would have threatened me with a lawsuit. I mean, how is Shawnee Lely and Jersey Moneybag not suing these people? Because they literally put their faces out on T-shirts and said they took my daughter, put them on flyers. They took my daughter. That's slander, and the cops have already cleared them. So, what's going on with that? I would love to know what makes people do this. But I said again, I keep saying what my theory is, and I'm sure other people have this theory, and there are some that disagree and think it's something else. But my theory, from what I've seen of all the facts that have been presented, is that I truly believe Smoke's involved, and because it's the only thing that makes sense. The only other alternative is if she is unalive, which I truly believe she is, and Smoke had nothing to do with it, and Mo had nothing to do with it. Like nobody that I've talked about in this whole thing had nothing to do with it. Then she came across a stranger when she was dropped off, whoever she was dropped off, and that's what happened then and there. But then where is she? There was another case that got sent to me at the beginning when I was doing the lives for this, and it was a case of Tina Mae Rook. She was a prostitute and a well-known prostitute, like many cases of prostitution in the court system for Guilford County. And her niece actually sent me the case, wanted me to talk about it. And this sounds absolutely terrible. If anybody ever watched the TV show My Name is Earl, they had this character called Patty the Daytime Hooker because she only was a hooker during the day. And this is basically what happened to Tina Mae. She was killed during the day, and she got into a white truck. They even have a sketch of the suspect in the truck, but this case has never been solved. And I think this happened in 2014. So here we've got Marissa's case with almost no evidence whatsoever of what happened to her. You know, phone got chucked, and that's ever been found. Nobody saw anything. It's like she walked into a black hole and disappeared. But here with Tina Mae Rook, she was stabbed in the abdomen, left for dead. People saw her get in the truck. People saw her get out of the truck. People saw the guy driving the truck. But neither has been found. So it's just crazy how much that's been left open, and then makes you wonder. Okay, are they not looking too hard because she was a prostitute? Which goes back into Marissa's case, were they not following up on this too hard because they know she was a sex worker and because they know she was involved with all these other things, like with Mo Dollars. Like Mo Dollars has a promotion company called Moses Magnetic. He has dancers, he does these big parties and all that, and he has had some shootings happen at some of his events here in the last 6 months. Did she see something with one of those events that she wasn't supposed to see, and that's why she disappeared? So much can be said. So much you can go into conspiracy theory after conspiracy theory about this case. It's very easy to do because when you look at all the players involved, it's really easy to go off onto tangents on other topics with this. Yeah, I don't understand what drives people to do what they do. I mean, like I said, it usually comes down to money or sex. That's what I understand. Sometimes power, control. I was telling somebody that rape is not necessarily about sex, it's about control and power over someone else. You know, murder, a lot of the times, are crimes of passion. Um, Kidnapping is also about power. You know, it just depends. If you look at the psychology of some of these cases and behaviors of people, it starts to make a lot of sense. But yeah, the block button. Yeah, I've used a little bit. Okay, so Dreamsy, you say I have no predisposition to harm another. I was never harmed. Am I a special person? Are others? Is it so special? So I think you come down to our basic human, like almost to the, all the way down, like to our base core person. I think there are people that are capable of anything. And sometimes you never know what you're capable of until you're put into a position. Like I said, Smoke, Charles Lindsay, Mel McIntyre, all the same person. Based on accusations and arrest records, he has a predisposition to violence. I was reading one of the incident reports where they had gotten into it, and she said that he hit her in the back of the head with a glass jar. That's pretty brutal, man. So, I mean, and is it such a cruel world? Yeah, I think it is. Technology has forced us to not relate to one another on a physical level, and now that has pushed us to the point of being almost robotic and incapable of handling emotion and controlling ourselves. So, I think that has a lot to do with it. I think it does. I mean, you keep hearing about these cases of people killing their children because one parent decided not to be around anymore. You're hearing cases of, you know, husband killing wife and family because he fell in love with someone else and didn't want to deal with this. I mean, it's insanity when I see these cases come up. Like baby Maya, that poor thing. Both grandparents sets are arrested for drugs. The parents are arrested for drugs. The kids, older kids, were already taken out of the house. How did how did this baby go missing like this? And how is it that they never saw her inside the house decomposing? I don't understand that. Um, yeah, people do need to be better to one another. That's no doubt about that. Yeah, and the world is desensitized. It really is. So, but I just want to talk about this. It's Father's Day. It's my daughter's birthday. She was born on Father's Day, which is funny. And this is the first one, first Father's Day, and her birthday, where they both coincided on the same day since he's been gone. So it's an emotional day. And yeah, like I said, people want to be hating. People want to keep pushing a narrative that doesn't exist. And I guess maybe in a way I'm pushing my own narrative that may or may not exist. I mean, if I'm going to be honest here, I think Smoke did it. That's my narrative. And there's a very good possibility he didn't do it and somebody else did. Mm. Well, happy early birthday, Dreamsy. So, yeah, it's crazy. Because, I mean, if I really look at it honestly, yeah, I'm pushing my own narrative. Alrighty, well, I'm going to hop off here, go to my day. I have a cake to go pick up. And, thank you, Janaya. Um, I have to go pick up a cake. And you all, thank you for chiming in. Nini, thank you for your thoughts. You and I may disagree, but, you know, thank you again for all the support you did show me before and the group. You guys had my back for the longest time, so I'm not going to deny that. And anyway, happy Father's Day, happy Sunday, and thanks for watching. Bye.